Welcome to Edwards Beyond the Test. It's a podcast that goes behind the scenes of the flight test mission at Edwards Air Force Base. I'm Dawn Waldman from the 412th Test Wing Public Affairs. The U.S. Air Force provides for every airman, enlisted or officer, the opportunity for continued education. The Air Force invests time and resources and educational opportunities to fuel innovation, develop stronger airmen, and help them reach their fullest potential. Well, here at Edwards, the 412th Force Support Squadron's Education and Training Center not only assists airmen, reservists, and guard members, but civilians as well. It is my pleasure to welcome our guest, who is the new Education Services Officer at the Education and Training Center, Miss Vita Evans. Hi, Vita. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Well, Vita, there is a team of professionals that work at the Education and Training Center. Can you briefly tell us what you do as the Education Services Officer?
As the Education Services Officer, I'm part of our leadership team here. I oversee our testing department, and I'm the subject matter expert on education programs and formal training. And we, at the Education Office, we really want to reach out to our detachments and all the units on our base. So that's part of my responsibility as well, to reach out to our detachments like Plant 42, March Air Reserve Base, recruiting service squadrons, and we have about 90 PAS codes or AFSCs that we're responsible for here at Edwards.
Wow, that's a lot. You know, there's so many types of classes and levels of education, formal training, and services that are available at the Education and Training Center. Can you talk about some of those with us?
In regards to type of classes, we have several different types of classes. For military as well as civilian, we have Microsoft Office courses that we offer, like Excel, Word, OneNote, Access. We offer motorcycle classes and a myriad of other classes. We can also request classes as well. And the different levels of education we have from certificates for a specific type of industry, or from associate all the way up to a master's degree for military. They can get tuition assistance, and civilian up to a doctorate degree. We have those different levels. In regards to formal training, all of our airmen, they're the heart. And when I say airmen, I mean military and civilian. We are all airmen, and they're at the heart of what we do. And for our military members, we facilitate their formal training in regards to non-commissioned officer NCOA Academy, Senior NCOA Academy, as well as the Chief Leadership School. So our Chief Leadership courses, we have that. And for civilian, I'm a product of that. I got civilian tuition assistance. I have my master's degree, and I got it using tuition assistance. We also have a civilian leadership course, and we can order any courses that we have a need for here on Edwards.
Well, you know, as we record this, we are still in the middle of the COVID pandemic. At Edwards, the base remains on essential personnel only status. How has this affected the operations and training that go on at your center?
Well, several of our courses and services are now being online. So we're very diligent and respectful of everyone's health and safety. That's our utmost responsibility right now. But we still want to offer briefings, trainings, and as many courses as possible, and we will do that online virtually. We're looking at several different virtual platforms, including Zoom Government, podcasts like this one, teleconferences, video recordings of speakers, and making sure course literature is available, utilizing a self-paced curriculum so that airmen can have access to all our services virtually during this pandemic.
Vita, are the programs you just mentioned homegrown in the Education and Training Center, or are they available through the Air Force?
Many of them are available through the Air Force. The homegrown one is, we do have our Flight Chief Leadership School. Mr. Gregory Head, he's our team lead here at the Education and Services Center. He was very instrumental in developing that course. So for now, in regards to different virtual opportunities, we are offering our military TA briefings. Our skill bridge briefing is virtual, as well as our education transition track for our transitioning airmen. Coming soon, we're hoping to have that flight chief course I was speaking about. Hopefully that will be virtual soon. We're working on that, as well as a civilian leadership course. And we want to just really improve our briefings that we have so far and having some interaction with it, having them be interactive with the airmen, as well as providing some type of assessment so that we can gauge whether these platforms are working.
When it comes to educational opportunities, there is a great deal more offered from the Edwards Education and Training Center. We'll talk about obtaining college degrees, the Skill Bridge, the National Test Center, and more. Welcome back to Edwards Beyond the Test. Our guest is Miss Vita Evans, who is the new Education Services Officer at the Education and Training Center. So, Vita, some of our listeners may not realize that while we may be out in the middle of the desert, the Education and Training Center has opportunities for college degrees. You touched upon that a little bit earlier, but tell us more about the university access that you have here at Edwards.
So, on the base, we have Saracoso Community College, and they're very instrumental in assisting airmen with their CCAF. We also have Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. They are both of the schools are working on their return procedures for the COVID-19. It's looking like they'll be appointment only, but they will be here in the Education Center. And we help a lot of our airmen with CCAF. We're trained on those requirements and assisting, airmen with what specific courses they need, and we totally encourage members to get their CCAF.
And for those who don't know it, CCAF is Community College of the Air Force, and that's for our airmen, correct?
That's correct. CCAF is Community College of the Air Force. It's an associate degree. It's regionally accredited, so it's a wonderful opportunity for airmen to utilize military tuition assistance and get their CCAF within their first 4 years of active duty service.
Vita, recently you told me that there is now a national test center located in the Education and Training Center, providing the opportunity for on-base to take the CLEP exam and more. Tell us about that.
Yes, our National Test Center is facilitated by the University of Phoenix, and they offer CLEP, which is a college-level examination program. And so airmen can come in, civilians as well, they can come in, take a test, and then they do not have to take the actual course. They can just get those credits. They have several different areas for that they can CLEP the courses. And also, our base library has study material. So maybe not each exact one, but majority of the courses, they have a booklet that they can go and they can study before they CLEP. Now, currently, our National Test Center is teleworking, but they are also working on their return protocol for the COVID-19, and we should be getting that shortly. As soon as I hear something, we will put out a PA, a public announcement in that regard. We'll put it on AFMs, and we will let the whole base know that our National Test Center is back on base.
Well, we will stand by for that. Well, Ms. Vita, the first time we spoke, you were very excited to tell me about the educational opportunities that are available to our airmen who are going to be leaving the Air Force. Let's talk about those programs. Could you start with Skill Bridge?
Yes, the Skill Bridge program is a Department of Defense program, and it's for all active duty airmen, enlisted as well as officers. So they select an organization, and they are able to go TDY to that organization. It could be nationwide, and they learn skills that will assist them in transitioning from military active duty to civilian life. And hopefully the selection of the organization that they chose will employ them. That's the ultimate goal, is for them to be employed by that company. So they have 6 months that they can work with the company, gain the skills. The whole thing is for them to gain skills, and then they can network, and then hopefully that company will offer them a position. It's an awesome program because it provides the opportunity for airmen to not worry about what are you going to do when you get out. They can get the skills. They can use everything that they have. We love our airmen. They're at the heart of what we do, and whether they're active duty or not active duty, we care. And so this is a wonderful Department of Defense program that we want everyone to know about and to utilize. It takes some work on their part, and unit commanders have to approve it. They have to be able to go, but 6 months they are still active duty, but they're gaining skills from an organization. In addition to that, we also have the TAP education track. So there's the education track. A transition program is ran by Mr. Dean Murphy. He's awesome. And there's 4 tracks that transitioning airmen can go to during TAP. So they can do an education track where that's the one I facilitate. It's called Managing Your Education. And we go over how to select a college, how to gain a degree, look at a degree plan, how to pay for it. I go in depthly with the GI Bill, how to use it, what is the Yellow Ribbon Program, and everything that they need so that when they get out, they can make an informed plan to utilize their GI Bill. It doesn't last forever. Some airmen come in, I'll just use my GI Bill and I'll just get my degree then. The GI Bill only lasts for 36 months. So you have to plan. So that's why we here at the Education Center, we encourage military members and civilians use tuition assistance, because if you don't finish by the time you get out, then you can go ahead and use your GI Bill to finish up, but not to start. So we want airmen and their families, because everybody's moving in. When a airman gets out of active duty, the whole family is affected. The whole family is able to come to the Education Center and receive that training, participate in any courses that we offer, so that we can have a smooth transition and they can be successful as a civilian.
So I remember you told me recently that even though the pandemic has caused us to quarantine, that money for education, as you were just talking about, is still there, and you're really urging our Team Edwards members to take advantage of this.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. We have a new, improved, the Air Force in general, the Air Force Virtual Education Center is where they would do that, or they can come make an appointment at the Ed Center to get trained on that. The money is still there. We still have every airman who's active duty gets $4,500 every year, and that money just stays there. And if they don't use it for the year, then it's gone. Use it or lose it. But it does replenish itself every year, so it's so important even just to take one course. A lot of members are teleworking or they're on different shifts. Take one course. Use the money that's there and take a free course. Get your education, okay? Finish up with the GI Bill if you need to, and civilians can take advantage of the tuition assistance as well. We have a team of career advisors for our civilians at every unit, and they assist with them in that manner. So it's really important, because if you're active duty, your goal is the mission. You're here to do the mission.
Right.
And you have to be resilient. I mean, this is a very turbulent time we're in right now with the COVID-19 going on, and, with different countries and just worldwide. It's a global pandemic. So our airmen, is crucial that they stay educated, which will in turn make them more resilient to finish and complete any obstacles or mission essential tasks that they may need to do. That education puts your mind in a state where you feel that, you know what, I can handle this, I can do this, and it helps you move up, you get promoted, and that's what we want. When you get promoted and you're happy what you're doing and you know what you're doing and you can solve problems more easily, it's so much less stressful for that airman as well as his unit, as well as the member's family. So education, I'm very passionate about education.
I can tell, yes.
And if I can help somebody get their education free, then please let me help. We want to help you at the Ed Center. That's why we're here.
So, Vita, is there anything you'd like to add that I didn't bring up?
Well, I would like to add that the Education and Training Office hours are by appointment only, and they're 7:30 to 3:30. Your mask are required, and now based on real-world challenges, real world, then the situations they're subject to change, but all changes will be announced utilizing the PA.
Vida, I want to make sure our listeners have the web address for the center. You can find it at www.edwardsfss.com/education-center. So, Vida, before I let you go, please tell us what it means to you to be here at the center of the aerospace testing universe.
It means everything. I was prior service. I was in the military. I was in the Air Force. So to see my sisters and brothers walking around with their blue uniform on, it means everything. I'm so happy to be here. I did work with a different branch before. It's just not the same. It's not. I don't feel as passionate about it because I chose the Air Force to be in, and it's got me to where I am now, and it's so nice to be able to give back, and I want to just help everyone I can with the Education Center and getting their education. When I was in, just a few years ago, there was no, the CCF was there, but it was not as promoted as much as it is now. So it means everything, and if there's anything I can do to help our airmen and their families as well as civilian, please just let me know. Just reach out to us. You can email us at 412.frankSierra.education.services@us.af.mil. Send us an email, and we'll help you in any way we can.
Many thanks to today's guest, Miss Vida Evans, for taking time out to share her story and taking us beyond the test. Thanks to all for joining us. I'm Dawn Waldman for Edwards Beyond the Test.